Folks, if you want to know a sorry excuse for a black man, that is Andrew Bain. He is the state's attorney in Florida who Monique Worrell beat. Now, remember, it was Governor Ron DeSantis who replaced her with Bain, and then she then ran as an independent, kicked his butt on November 5th, and then he decided to say that he was not going to help her with the transition. Well, now he is changing his mind. Monique Worrell, the duly elected state attorney for Florida's 9th Judicial Circuit, she joins us right now. Monique, glad to have you back on the show. And so, first of all, congratulations on winning with 57% of the vote. And you ran as an independent. And so clearly the people in that area, they wanted you back in office.
Good evening, Roland. Thank you so much for having me. No, so I ran as a Democrat. Ran as an independent. And yes, voters overwhelmingly said they wanted me back. I won with 57% of the vote, a margin of 107,000 votes. And that was just a really big win for me and the Democratic Party, for justice and for democracy.
And when you talk about that, and so what he tried, so is he now saying he will help with the transition? Because he posted this long statement claiming all kind of crap, executive order or whatever, when, dude, you lost. You lost.
That's right. That's exactly right. So what we saw was an email come out early in the morning saying, I don't have any intentions on assisting in transition. My understanding is that she's not allowed to be the state attorney, so I will be here until the governor tells me otherwise. And we saw an extreme backlash from local leaders, from the media, from the voters. And by 3 o'clock that afternoon, shortly after I released my statement, we saw a reversal with him saying, well, actually, my last day is on January the 6th and her first day is on January the 7th, and I will do everything I can to facilitate the transition. So a complete contradiction to his earlier email. And, what we saw was an extreme reversal of his own position.
What we are seeing here, again, what we're seeing here is Ron DeSantis doing exactly what he does, and that is attacking duly elected state prosecutors. Are you concerned? He did it before, that after you take office, that he will single you out again and remove you from office?
So unfortunately, we live in a time right now where democracy everywhere is at stake. And yes, it could absolutely happen. The reality is he didn't have a legitimate reason for removing me the first time. The first time it was a political stunt. And, the powers that be right now, the question is who's going to stop them? Who's going to stop them? And so, yes, it could absolutely happen again. This was never with the understanding that it couldn't happen again. I ran because democracy matters. I ran because the voters matter and their voices matter. I ran because all of the reasons I ran initially still exist. We still have an unjust criminal legal system that over-incarcerates Black and brown people. We still have mass incarceration, with Florida leading, the nation in mass incarceration. We still have law enforcement accountability that is an issue in our country. And all of those things still exist. And that's why I ran.
And you talk about winning with overwhelming support from the public, and that's what really jumps out here. You were elected before, DeSantis removes you, you get re-elected, and so what I don't understand is the people have spoken, and these Republicans are showing zero respect for the voters. The voters decided they want you, they want your policies. And so they don't get to determine what the policies are for your area, because the voters say they trust you and your policies.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And unfortunately, prosecutorial discretion is something that has gone, virtually unchecked since its very beginning. And it wasn't until you had people saying, let's take a look at the history of prosecution in this country. Let's see how we can be more effective and more efficient in how we use prosecution. Let's see if we can use data proven methods to make our public safer. That prosecutorial discretion then became under attack with, far right extremists saying, we don't want you to use your discretion. We want you to lock up people and throw away the key. And if you're not doing that, then you're not utilizing the prosecutorial function in the way that it was originally designed. And that's where the problem came in, where people like myself and prosecutors all over the country found themselves behind a target, essentially, because they weren't using prosecutorial discretion to further mass incarceration.
Well, it has been a hell of a rocky roller coaster for you. Again, they thought they were going to get rid of you. That's not the case. And the voters said, no, we want that sister back. And so we certainly hope that Governor DeSantis and his minions have learned their lesson and are not going to pull any more ridiculous shenanigans like they did beforehand by removing you from office.
Well, thank you so much for that. And people just need to pay attention to what's happening in Florida. It's a local race, so not a lot of people are paying attention. But this is the small infringements upon our democracy that end up spreading like a cancer throughout the rest of the country. And if they can take out duly elected officials, then they can continue to do that at a larger level at some of these larger seats. And we saw it happen in Tennessee. We saw it happen here in Florida. And I don't think that this will be the end of it. So people absolutely need to pay attention, and we need to speak up and speak out, even if it's not your local area, because it can be. It's my area today. It can be your area tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. Fanbase is a free to download, free to use, next generation social media platform that allows anyone to have followers and subscribers on the same page. Fanbase was built through investment dollars from equity crowdfunding from the Jobs Act. People just like you helped build Fanbase, and we're looking for more people to help build Fanbase. We are currently raising $17 million in a Regulation A crowdfund on Start Engine. We've already crossed $2.1 million, but we're looking to raise more capital from people just like you that deserve the opportunity to invest in early stage startups without having to be accredited investors. So right now, I'd like you to go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest. The minimum to invest is $399. That gets you 60 shares of stock in Fanbase right now, today. And then use Fanbase to connect with friends, grow your audience, and be you without limits.